everybody, welcome back to a Max Velocity weather forecast, and today what we're going over is that severe weather potential for later this afternoon into the evening hours for areas like Texas, Kansas, Missouri, goes all the way back up to the northeast, closer to areas like Chicago. We're going to get to the main threats for today, timing, intensity, all of that is in this forecast for you. Let's get right into it. So as of right now, there's actually a marginal threat for severe weather. Now this may get upgraded during the day, just keep that in mind. This goes as far northeast as areas like Chicago, goes as far southwest as actually even Texas Panhandle, it's just including Amarillo. So definitely an area to watch for this afternoon and evening. The main threats as of right now seem to be damaging winds up to about 70 to 75 miles per hour, and the hail potential up to the size of hen eggs may exist with a storm or two. There may be a very low end tornado threat. When I say very low end, I'm talking maybe one brief tornado would be it for today. You can see here's a low level jet for today, just to give you a little bit of an idea of what the low level jet will be doing today. We're really not looking at anything in the low level jet. You can see going to the maybe evening hours, closer to like 11 to 12 o'clock, it starts to strengthen very minimally, but overall the low-level jet will be very weak. That's going to translate to a very, very low tornado threat, if not almost non-existent tornado threat this afternoon. All right, let's take a look at the storm activity this afternoon. Starting from the southwest, we'll go off to the northeast here in just a second in terms of timing. 4 to 5 o'clock this afternoon, we'll start to see some storms fire up, especially in the Texas Panhandle. Again, the main threats will be likely large hail, maybe a little bit of damaging wind gusts with these storms as well. Strong downburst winds may create that threat. 6 to 7 o'clock in the evening, we'll start to see some storms moving off to the north, and they will likely be moving off to the north as these storms progress. By 8 to 9 o'clock, a lot of these storm activity is going to be really in western portions of Oklahoma, even possibly even just north of Oklahoma City, and as well as in the northern Texas Panhandle. By 10 to 11 o'clock, that storm activity is translating, really moving off to the north into Kansas by as early as about 1 to 2 in the morning. Here's a look at the timing for Kansas. By about 10 to 11 o'clock, we'll start to see those storms moving out of Oklahoma into the Kansas region. Wichita will probably see storms somewhere between probably 11 o'clock to about 4 in the morning. Eventually by 3 to 4 in the morning, storms ongoing in southern and southeastern Kansas. They move off to the east into Missouri. Here's a look at the timing out that way for those in Missouri. By about 5, actually we might see some storms as early as 5 to 6 o'clock this evening. Those will likely just produce maybe some hail up to the size of quarters and some gusty winds. I'm not expecting too much in terms of severe weather there. By 9 to 10 o'clock, we'll start to see some more storms developing back out to the west. And you can see those will be primarily overnight for those near Clinton and as well as Kansas City. Those will start to move down to the south and east, producing maybe some hail up to the size of maybe $half, so ping pong ball sized hail, as well as damaging wind gusts up to 65 miles per hour. Those storms move off to the east and will eventually be clearing out by the early afternoon hours. Here's a look at areas over near Chicago. This is all remnants basically of what we saw last night from that area of storms up in Minnesota, as well as areas like North Dakota. Here's a look at those storms by 9 to 10 in the morning. You'll start to see those storms moving through areas like Chicago, Peoria, as well as Galesburg. Eventually by about 11 to 12 o'clock, storms move off to the east, most of those fizzling out. We're not really going to see a whole lot after that. Maybe a couple of storms near St. Louis between 5 to 8 o'clock. Some storms maybe off in western Illinois right around the evening hours. Those might develop and produce some gusty winds, possibly even some damaging winds up to 60 to 65 miles per hour. Other than that, those areas will also start to clear out. We'll have that eventually that cold front move through those regions, starting to see a bit of a drier pattern. By the way, going into Sunday, we might see a couple of severe storms in St. Louis. That will eventually translate to another low-end severe weather threat for the Ohio Valley heading into the Sunday afternoon hours. Overall, just a marginal threat, but we'll get to more on that in our next forecast. Make sure to hit the subscribe button down below if you're new here. Make sure to hit the like button as well. I would really appreciate it. This forecast is brought to you by Platinum Contracting, all that's repair, and Patriot Safe Rooms.